Feels so damn good to be back. Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Chicago Bears Weekly. Ep.7 Sports signing in. And just yesterday, the Bears announced their entire 53-man roster. There's one thing that sticks out about the roster. Yes, it's the news that dropped Friday, is that Mitchell Trubisky has been named the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears. Now, I've been saying all along, ever since we have acquired Nick Foles, that Trubisky will be the starting quarterback for the Bears, and now my prediction proves to be 100% correct. A lot of people saw that move and was like,
that is blasphemous. That is blasphemous.
But me, I saw it coming. But in today's episode, we're going to talk about why did Trubisky win the starting quarterback job in the first place. But before I dive into this episode, I just want to make sure that you guys are staying absolutely safe out there. I know it's still a whole lot going on, and I just want to make sure you guys are staying safe. And about 60% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed. So if you are one of those people, do me a favor and click that subscribe button and also turn on notifications so you will not miss a single video that I post. But y'all know what time it is. Without further ado, let's dive into it. If you guys have been OGs and been around for the long haul of this channel and been around since the day we've acquired Nick Foles, I've predicted from the get-go that Mitchell Trubisky will be named the starting quarterback come week 1 of this 2020 season. So the news that Mitchell Trubisky was named the starter for day 1 doesn't come as any surprise to me. I'm not shocked by it one bit. I predicted it and I expected it to happen. But there's a lot behind as to why Mitchell Trubisky was named the starter of our Chicago Bears. Reason number 1, the Bears have invested so much into him by drafting him number 2 overall, trading up from the number 3 spot in 2017. So that is an investment that Ryan Pace wants and needs to see work to save his job. 2, it's something that Nagy wants to work in order to save his job because they are all tied together. Trubisky, Pace, and Nagy are all tied together. And if Trubisky was not named the starter and had bad year or whatever the case may be, all 3 of them will be gone back to back to back. So that's reason 1 that Trubisky was going to be named the starter to begin with. Number 2, I have to kind of talk about Nick Foles' entire career. Nick Foles has been a journeyman backup for majority of his career. And outside of 2012, a little bit of 13, and the things he did in 2017 and some of the games he had in 2018, when he's been majority of the full-time starter, he has not done much throughout the course of his career. His time with the St. Louis Rams at that time did not go very well. He's with the Kansas City Chiefs. That did not go well at all. And plus, he was behind Alex Smith, so he wasn't going to get any playing time anyway, as Alex Smith at that time was the guy in Kansas City. So he's been a backup majority of his career. And even just last season alone, Nick Foles was brought on to the Jacksonville Jaguars to be their franchise guy, to be the guy that can get the Jaguars team over a hump. But the problem was, Nick Foles, number one, he broke his collarbone in week 1, came back from the injury, struggled, and was benched for Gardner Minshew. He did not play well at all last year, being the guy that they paid a whole hell of a lot of money to. The Jaguars over last offseason paid Nick Foles a 4-year, $88 million contract extension, which was $50.1 million of that was guaranteed, and in total contract could have ended up with $102 million. He got hurt week 1, and he threw a touchdown pass on the play. He got hurt and suffered a broken clavicle and underwent surgery the very next day. He came back November 5th, struggled in week 11, and in week 13, he was benched for Gardner Minshew and did not play the rest of the year. Foles had 4 starts last year, only throwing 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So my thing is, Foles is not a bad quarterback at all, but majority of his career he's been a backup, and for him to really win the job, he was going to have to impress so much that the coaching staff had no choice but to put him in. And obviously with Trubisky being named the starter, Nick Foles did not impress the coaches well enough to be named the starter in the first place. And number 3, Trubisky would have had to have the most god-awful training camp. He would have had to have just an abysmal time during camp to lose the job because the Bears had so much invested to him. And Trubisky would literally have to lose the job for Foles to be named the starter week 1. Trubisky has more familiarity with the offense. Foles does too, but Trubisky has been in this system for his 3rd season now. And I've said this numerous times, 2019 was not all Trubisky's fault. I'm not going to get too in-depth, as I probably will sound like a broken record that I will keep saying the same things over and over again. But you guys can check out my older videos about Trubisky's time in 2019 to really get too in-depth about why 2019 wasn't so good. But Trubisky has talent. Trubisky is not a very bad quarterback like people want to make him out to be, in which I said a lot of those reasons on last week's Bears episode, so you can go check that out as well. But Trubisky would have had to absolutely do god awful to lose a job, and he did not do that. He's improved his footwork, he's improved his mechanics, he's not hurt anymore, and there was no way that Trubisky was not going to win the job. Trubisky really had to play bad, which he didn't. Now, it's been reported that neither quarterback did something very much so to just absolutely, totally win the job. So that means Trubisky would have won that by default because, number one, the Bears head general manager staff and coaching staff have so much invested into him because their jobs rely on Trubisky, not on Foles. Now, they did invest a lot of money on Foles' contract now to get him out of Jacksonville, which I still think to this day was not the very best of moves, but that's neither here nor there. Trubisky is not that bad of a quarterback. Trubisky, I think, provides just a little bit more outside of experience than Nick Foles. Trubisky has more mobility than Nick Foles. I think Trubisky has a stronger arm than Nick Foles. Trubisky can definitely throw on the run better than Foles. Trubisky has a little bit more understanding of Matt Nagy's system and his offense. Trubisky has more chemistry with Matt Nagy. And to be honest, I don't know why you guys are so shocked that Trubisky won the starting quarterback job. It was just going to happen anyway. Now, what can happen in the future? Who knows? It remains to be seen. But Trubisky was going to win the job anyway if he did not throw it away. So it is what it is. I'm actually happy for Trubisky. I'm rooting for him to play very well this year. You guys see that I've supported Mitch Trubisky. He had some bad moments last year, yes, of course, but for the most part, I've supported Mitchell Trubisky ever since his time that he arrived as a Chicago Bear, and I'm really pulling for him to be successful, and I want him to do well, and I want this team to get back into that 2018 form and get back to the playoffs. That is all I have for you guys today. Hopefully you enjoyed today's episode. If you agree or disagree with any of the points that I made about why Trubisky was named the starting quarterback, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would really love to see you guys' opinion on this entire Chicago Bears quarterback situation. But that's going to do it for me. I am signing out. Make sure you guys have a great and excellent day. And I will see you guys on the next video. Peace out.
I wanna say thank you to my mom and my daddy for making love the night that you had me. Wanna thank my friends, my sister and my brother.